You know what? So that's Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng there. A very interesting note that he ends that conversation with me. But there's a lot more you can find on 3news.com, also TV3 Ghana on Facebook. In fact, the full interview as well you can find on 3 News TV on YouTube, as well as TV3 Ghana on Facebook. And there's going to be more. But coming up next, we go 22 years down memory lane. It's not a very good memory to have, but we're asking the critical question: have we learned the lessons to ensure that this does not happen again? That's a critical question we're asking tonight. May is one day, the 9th of May today, that we're hoping that would never happen again in Ghana football. 22 years ago today, Ghanaians witnessed a disastrous turn of events at the Accra Sports Stadium at Hearts of Oak face Kumasi Asante Kotoko, leading to over 100 deaths. My colleague Yalfo Sulabi recounts the events.
For 22 years, the memories of the May 9 Stadium disaster have lived with people in different ways. The images of 127 bodies piled up after violence broke up in the league game between Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko has accompanied the darkest tale in Ghana football. Kotoko fans protesting what they claim was an offside call from referee Jacob Wilson Say and his assistants ripped off seats and threw them on the tarmac. The police responded with tear gas, and the ensuing stampede led to what has become Africa's worst stadium disaster. Tensions between Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko were high at the time. Hearts of Oak were in great form, the best side not just in Ghana but in Africa. Their meeting against Kumasi Asante Kotoko naturally had taken on a bigger meaning, so much so that the identity of the referee was a closely guarded secret until hours before the game. The match went on as scheduled at 5 p.m. that day. Hearts of Oak drew level after Lawrence Ejay had opened the scoring for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Ishmael struck later on to win the game for the Phobians before the home fans at the Accra Sports Stadium. What happened next, the stampede, the people who died, the victims, and the survivors. May it never happen again in our football.
Certainly not. May it never happen. We wish it doesn't happen, but have we put the right measures in place to ensure that, for instance, stadium hooliganism or the violence at various football stadia in this country does not happen? After May 9, we've seen a lot of violence in various stadia across the country. Have the right measures been taken to ensure that the hooligans are also dealt with to serve as a deterrent to others? We have a video as well that catalogs a number of people who spoke about this event when it happened. Take a look.
That excitement was short-lived as what is today Ghana's biggest sporting horror reared its head minutes after. All it took was a careless spark of fan misbehavior and agitation and a misjudgment on how to handle the situation. 126 people lost their lives till today, the highest for any number of casualties for a football match in the country, and sits in a world's top stadium disasters of recent memory. Years on, the images of what was a dark Wednesday lingers for survivors and persons close to the deceased. The pain never goes away. Hawa Asare was 11 years old when the incident happened 19 years ago. The agony of losing her father has weighed heavily on her all these years.
You see, I'm 11 years. I'm in class 4. Until you were school. And I ever catch her and say, "You the day before 9th, on the 10th, I ever school have a friend. Now Wednesday night 9th minute. Yani papa and I with you okojuma no aba. Nti yani din komo na ye stress free no catch us baby at time do no start match nti opesoko onu so ye Asante Kotoko fan kese pa nti ya isa no si onu obekọ ejaye ba yenye eduane nsi ho emma ne ka se o mane nko na se dia ewie mu tiem nsi opeti kakra na ato na ejaye na ya sa o hwe match ne kra na enhye dan no si o obekọ na pese ko hwe match ne si o klendi onko nti ye eduane di si ho ma no ye twene saa wa ma ne si wani ye koda nti anopa ye sorry kra na eduane si ho a ummediye ne ye school ti we school no ana obi ba say opeso hu yen 3 no that time na yawo ye nua ketua we nya 1 month nti yes ana nipa ne si wo ye ma me se ye me frɛ ma ne busiafo na mpese hu nti en kofi ye dru fie no mka kire say ye papa aka baabi ne bi sanse nipa ne wo fie nra. That was Wednesday. Nti ba ni say na Thursday anopa ma ka kire say waka baby. Na me si waka baby na enra send the sea was stadium. Na man for prepare no. Nti na ye ya yesu ye san ye njindi. Na me papa so no frɛ kremu nti e sa no. Ye de ni mu ni bae ma ye nwa hu gidi to say ampa prepare on say ye titi ane so. Mi hunam ni na mi say we proud kasa say sa busia no ye see we see okusie no say ofre community okusie no na ebusia fo ni en bet na on ka che see asem aba see aye papa eni obi ti eni dia me kai pa 19 years old e see.
Gory, unimaginable, grave. A gloom had shook the very foundations of Ghana football. A people's beauty and love for football had been marred. Many were not spared. They left behind memories. They left behind dreams.
Omo yentafo asana lifsin. Onu kwa na ye bema a wo yentem. Dano ade no bedu Wednesday anapa yani no na ewo fie efie ne yakwapa yeso ye do so wo fie no Kotoko fans wo mu house fans wo mu into Kotoko fans no mu ye no rough da no tene din e no so nkasa this omo akọ stadium aba ansana obekasa yanu no na ebo nkomo nti da no po ya nya eye into okọ cemetery baya ansa na obedware ye say okọ park na obetwemu koye into omo koye anajumu ye wo fie ye hwe Champions League wo TV so ye beti no shocking news baya say stadium disaster into me tina wa me tie no na me sorry ye into me pie ye opposite ye fie and boys bi om koy na me bisa om say let's say ni say na aba stadium and also ampo om de yampo na om pie ye into sana om ti o na me true me ka me ba ye ma me o to aduane into me ba ye no na me ka kire me ma me say say na eti yo into na kuma boy o si sen na me say ade eti ye no o na ye sorry ye say obi say you encourage into your Rich Hospital yantunu you call police hospital si yehunu you call 37 yehunu obi say omu ye otiati nipa dia obi aka ade a kan ti boys omu call stadium nti ya di obi eti ofie ya bisa omu say omu bebre mu say omu ehu ata ni chapter po minim bebre owo ni chapter wo nti me call ho into the free park by then and so money never enti obi astrogi nanso the way omo wonu there or chat onye hwe o na me ka kire me mama ye park ne ma na e kofi nti e wo fie na adwum da no ya nda ye titi na fie mu o ha na eti ye bo gate ngbangba ye pie ya guys mienu ana mo bisa me say ya hu seni ana me say ampo ye call hospital there hu ne ya chi hospital so omo ehun nanso apra kakra what 37 anadwuma na yɛfa car ɛne ya uncles ne nyinaa yɛkɔɔ yɛtena ho saa ama de kyee ɔhɔ na ne uncle baako ɔwura mu ɔfɔ no dɔfɔ so mpo yɛsɛ ɔma.
So we recount the loss of all these families. It's 22 years on. But the most important consideration is not we remembering this day and making speeches. The sports minister will talk about this. No. What measures have been put in place? And that's exactly what we're focusing on tonight. Mohammed Amin Lamte is an A-sports journalist in this country and beyond. He's joining us on the telephone. Sheikh, thank you so much for joining us on Ghana Tonight. It's been 22 years on, but for you, neck deep in sports in this country, have the right measures been put in place to ensure that another May 9th does not happen again?
Well, Alfred, thank you very much for having me. And good evening to your viewers and listeners. And this is a very important question. And as you and I know, I don't think that we've done enough to be able to avoid any, repetition of what we saw some couple of years ago. Alfred, I'm speaking with a very heavy heart because I lost my biological brother.
You lost your brother?
Yes, a lady thing between myself and him. He died. My biological brother, not that maybe a distant family member, but my biological brother. There's a lady between myself and him, Abbas. When you go to the stadium, the list of names that you have there, his name is the first name for them. A lot of people don't know. So I heard, for me, I believe that as a country, we've forgotten that Ghana football or sports is very significant in the country. So as a country, one, there is no political war. Number two, when it comes to our infrastructure, we've not achieved anything for us to avoid any hooliganism, vandalism, whatever thing. So for me, I don't think there will be any lessons. Now, if you look at the commission that was put up, they came out with their recommendations. So all the things that you said, what have we done? Have we implemented one? Not at all. Just a couple of hours ago, a team traveled, to a venue for Premier League. People attacked them, forum people, a lot of things. Just a couple of days ago at the Book of Boxing Arena, we had an anticlimax after we had a wonderful night. Just the last fight, because of the death given by the judges, people actually went on rampage, vandalized chairs, and did a lot of things. So we've not learned any lessons. For me, until as a country, we come out with a strategy for us to understand the realities of the crowd, about how we can deal with, crowd control, how we can also identify people to penalize them, to serve as a terror to others to avoid repetition of what we are seeing every day.
Yeah, Sheikh, now you make a very important point, and our condolences to you. If I didn't know that you lost your blood brother as a result of this May 9th disaster. But you say that there have been even recent events that point to the fact that not much has been done to prevent this. We have a video of one of such events where a referee was chased off the pitch after another team thought that he had taken a decision. They nearly lynched him. I want to take a look at this video. Let's play it. So, Sheikh, maybe in a minute, where's the disconnect? Is it that the people the perpetrators of such hooliganism on the various stadia are not punished to serve as a deterrent to others? Or really, we have unconsciously accepted this as part of football or as part of sports? Because you say even in boxing, this happens.
It is poor leadership. Poor leadership in the sense that the man is the center of every game must understand what is leadership. Okay? And those who are in charge of any Premier League or anything that brings clubs to compete, they should have rules and regulations. When you have the rules and regulations, regardless of whoever is a corporate or whatever, the person must be penalized. When you have people going to watch football matches, now we have CCTV cameras around. Alfred, why don't we have them, install them in all the venues? So when they are doing something, you don't just say anything. You capture them on this CCTV camera. You will be in your room. You might not be arrested instantaneously. You'll be in your room. You may even come and watch the game in Accra, but you are coming from Tamale. Okay? That they will go and get you in Tamale and arrest you, prosecute you, and get you behind the bar. And one critical thing that I said, you and I, as journalists, we also need to understand that we are part of the problem. We are part of the problem in the sense that we go to cover such events, and we ourselves, we lack certain things that we need to understand about crisis management.
Right.
Number one, journalistically, after you and I must understand how to analyze crisis.
Right.
The main disaster. How many journalists have come out to do a critical analysis of what happened? When you learn crisis, how do you call it? Crisis analysis.
Right.
The next point is what? Crisis what? Prevention.
Right.
Now, if you know across the book of going to play here,
right.
As a journalist, you write an article that will preempt anything people have planned to go and do at the stage. You have tried to prevent it. You need to talk about associated. You need to make sure that those who are the court referee or the central referee, the assistant referee, the match commissioners, you need to raise certain eyebrows to call their attention for them to do the right thing. So you have to prevent any crisis at the stadium. The last one, after, is conflict resolution.
Indeed.
How do you resolve the conflicts?
Right.
As a journalist, you must have a way of putting up some features, or maybe coming up with some stories, be it radio or television, or maybe on social media, to see how best we can resolve certain issues. But what do we do as journalists when we go? Some of the journalists were even attacked. When we have something, we have been attacked. Forgetting that in this country there is no more censorship. We have to do what we think is right. And most of our journalists, they are not fair, they are not balanced, they don't exhibit the elements of accuracy. There is no objectivity and order in their story, in their stories and that's in as much as we blame everybody, even the government and the ministry or whatever, we journalists must be part of the problem.
Indeed. I thank you for that particular point, ending on that note. Thank you so much, Mohamed Amin Lamte, for sharing your thoughts with us on this. And on behalf of the rest of the team, we appreciate the company on Ghana Tonight. Join us same time tomorrow. I am Alfred Akansi. Have a good night.